We've been praying during these days along with the Blessed Mother and the different apparitions. Today's apparition is from France, and so all the names will be far more difficult. I hope I will get the pronunciations right. But this is Our Lady of Laos in France. This took place in the 1600s. Usually all the apparitions of the Blessed Mother take place either for a few hours, like we saw in Knock yesterday. It was just for 2 hours. Some took weeks. Some would go on for decades, like in Ribeho, where we prayed about that as well. In Rwanda, it went on for a decade. But this apparition of Our Lady of Laos in France is the longest apparition in history. 54 years the Blessed Mother's apparition went on to Venerable Benite Rencourel. I hope I'm getting that pronunciation right as well. A simple shepherdess. She was shepherding the sheep in her village when this experience took place. She was born on September 16th, 1647. And the situation around France during that time was very disturbed politically, socially, and religiously. And during that time, when she would take the sheep and she would go to shepherd the flock, she used to pray all the time, the rosary, because she didn't know how to read or write, so she had nothing else she could do. She would pray constantly. And she was a person who was already filled with love for the poor. Though she came from a very poor family, would give her food off to those who were poor as well. So a person who was already in the Lord, a person who was already praying. And it was during this time, after a mass in the parish, that she felt a deep desire to meet the Mother of God. And as she went back, and after the Mass, she was going back, she got an experience of Saint Maurice, who encountered her and asked her to go to a particular place. There she would get to experience the Blessed Mother. And she goes to this little river, and there she has this first apparition of the Blessed Mother, where the Mother is holding a beautiful child in her hand, and that is what this little girl gets to see. The Blessed Mother holding the little child, but the mother says nothing at all, doesn't speak. Though she's speaking to the Blessed Mother, the mother doesn't speak. And then slowly the mother asks her to start coming to this place where she will appear to her very regularly. And she would take the sheep and she would go towards that place for grazing. But that place was not conducive for the sheep to actually feed itself. Very little grass in that area. But the sheep would go by themselves towards that area. And that is where she would have this apparition of the Blessed Mother. She would experience it. She would go there very regularly, every day, day after day, the Blessed Mother appearing to this little child. So much so that the owner of the sheep, whose sheep she's actually taking for grazing, they started having doubts, and the local villagers started having doubts that this girl is meeting someone over there and is not taking care of the sheep, because the villagers understood that the place she's taking the sheep to graze has no grass at all. And so the owner of the sheep starts going there to find out what the truth is. She initially tells the little girl, don't take the sheep there, but the little girl can't help it. The sheep are going by themselves. So she describes this to the owner. The owner comes there, try to move the sheep off from this barren land. The sheep refuses to go. They all are staying there, but they are all healthy. And it is when this owner reaches over there that she hears a voice that is speaking and telling her to do penance because she has something in her conscience. And that is what the owner gets to hear. Do penance because you have something in your conscience. Go and make your confession. This lady goes and makes her confession, and her life gets transformed with that. She lets the little girl go on with the sheep and experience the apparition after that. And it is so regular that the villagers start coming to realize what is happening. The Blessed Mother then directs her to this place called Laos. And it is far away from her own village, nearly 4 kilometers from her own village. But Benite goes there every day, and she's having these experiences of the Blessed Mother, who tells her to find a chapel over there where there will be a good odor, and there I will speak to you often. And at that time is when the Blessed Mother reveals to her and says, I have asked my son for this place, for the conversion of sinners, and he has granted it to me. And therefore, the Blessed Mother gives her the mission of building a church there, and along with that, a quarters for a priest, so that people will come there for confessions. And that is how this place and this apparition is connected to the sacrament of confession, where many go there just precisely for the sacrament of confession. And Venerable Benite, she gives herself in that ministry. She moves to Laos as she grows. She moves to Laos and she stays there. And her only mission is preparing people for confessions and then sending them to the priest. What an amazing ministry to be given by the Blessed Mother. All that she did in the 20 years that she stayed there was preparing people for confession. She was blessed with the gift of knowing the sins of people, and she would describe to them the sins that they have committed, prepare them for confession, and then send them to the priest. And that is where a lot of people started flocking, going to confession, and lives getting converted and changed through the confessional because of this apparition. Even the local vicar general was against the place and against the apparitions and didn't believe it. He and a lot of priests came there to reveal the hoax, what he called as the hoax of the apparitions. And when he entered into the church with the priests, there were storms that stopped them from going back for 3 days. In those 3 days, they got to witness amazing miracles, even that of a lady who couldn't walk, dragging herself to that chapel. And as she enters into the chapel, her legs are healed. She's able to stand up and walk around. They got to witness this. Their hearts changed, and they helped build a beautiful chapel over there. But it is a place where a lot of people come and make their confessions. This apparition is connected to the sacrament of confession. So we should be able to pray today to the lady, Our Lady of Laos, and ask for her to pray for all those who do not believe in the sacrament of reconciliation. When the Blessed Mother asked Venerable Benite to offer herself in this ministry, she warned her and said, there will be a lot of pain and suffering that you will go yourself. You will go through yourself, but offer it up for the conversion of sinners, and that they will make their confession. And that is exactly what happened during that time in the 1600s, the transformation that took place in people's lives through the confessional. The Blessed Mother told Venerable Benite that if you want to have a crown in heaven, you will have to have a crown of thorns on earth. Maybe that is a beautiful message for us as well. If we want to have a crown in heaven, we will have to have a crown of thorns on earth. To be able to pray, sacrifice much for those who do not go for the sacrament of reconciliation, those who do not go for confessions. Maybe to us as well, the Blessed Mother is reminding, go make good confessions, confess your sins and all that you have held. As the letter of St. James chapter 5 verse 16 tells us, confess your sins so that you may be healed. Confess your sins so that you may be healed. For those of us who do not go for confession, or do not go regularly for confession, or ask ourselves today, when was the last time we made our confession? When did we make a good confession and reconcile with the Lord? Our Lady of Laos is reminding us, make your confession. Confess your sins. Are there people in our families who haven't made confession for years together? Ask Our Lady of Laos that they get the grace and a heart to make a good confession and prepare themselves for a conversion and change. Let us ask for Venerable Benite's intercession today as well, that she who did this ministry of reconciliation might intercede today and prepare our hearts to make a very good confession.